But look, what I really want to do is I want to look at how we can use some of the tools to sort of really deliver our day-to-day service and what makes that service so impactful. We're going to be looking at Salesforce from an internal user's perspective. So let us know in the chat if this is your first time viewing Salesforce, if you are a seasoned pro, or if you've dabbled in it in some way. We'd love to just kind of get a read on your experience level as we're jumping in here. So anyway, hat on as Frank. And this is my view as a member of the staff at the YMCA in Philly. And again, what I'm going to jump into is where that information, where that data from that registration that we just passed through, where's that all landing into? It's going to land into a record just like the one you can see here. This is my center for managing everything to do with my full-time toddler care program. So on the left, I've got my details relating to that program, but I really want to focus in on what's on the right-hand side here, namely my actual enrollments here, right? So you can see I've got my different statuses. I've got my, which is great for managing capacities, of course, but it can also serve as like an early warning light, right? So if, for example, while this wasn't the case with Y Philly, if, for example, I saw that, a lot of members were having problems getting themselves registered, getting stuck in that registration process, I might expect to see a lot of draft enrollments, all right? So again, I have those two sides of it, using it for capacity management, but also for sort of early warning signals. If I come into my active enrollments, I can see we've got young Jack, who's just been added into our program. And we'll also notice that we have a couple of people on our wait list here who've registered just after me during that program process. But it's actually this person's lucky day. We're going to go ahead. We have some extra capacity all of a sudden on our program. So we're able to offer this waitlister a spot in our full-time care. And to do that, I've got a couple of options, right? I can either pick up the phone and ask them, do they want to accept or cancel their waitlist spot? Or what I can do is I can actually leverage that community portal we saw a moment ago, and I can just hit confirm waitlist and notify. And what that's going to do is it's going to send an email to the green household and basically allow them to either accept or reject that position themselves, right? So I'm avoiding that potential phone tag experience that I might have otherwise from calling through and asking our constituents. So again, once that email is received, I can just jump. I'll have a link into my community portal. I can select on that. I'll be brought straight to that My Account page we just saw a moment ago, and I can either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whether I want to accept that. Now, at the YMCA Philly, we're taking that a step further, right? We're actually automating that whole process of sending emails, allowing for that acceptance and rejection. And what that automation is doing is just looking at our priority on our wait list and moving down through all of our enrollees in that section. So for me, as a childcare admin, it's another task off my desk. For the Y, it's maximizing our capacity. And for a parent, it means that they never slip through the cracks, right? So all around, everybody's winning from that small piece of automation. Now, to wrap up this piece here, what I'm going to do is just send a quick email to all of our participants. And to do that, I'm going to cheat a little bit and just take my example from my other screen, select my template, and pop my message just in below here. I'm going to send this to everyone who actually made a purchase and joining this program, and hit send. So again, when I'm managing a program of over 3,500 attendees, these sorts of ad hoc mass messaging is really, really powerful. Of course, I'm not just limited to sending emails. I can be sending SMSs if I would prefer, but that's just landing in all of our attendees' inboxes as we speak. Now, that's a lot about sort of the registration end of things. What about the other end in terms of our day-to-day delivery? So again, we have some on-platform purpose-built tools that Traction Rec is providing to allow me to maximize my impact in these programs. The first is our attendance management. So here, again, I can manage who's present, who's not present, and any notes that are associated with those individuals. That's just generating data points inside of my system that I can use for real-time reports on any of my attendees, something that we're going to see in a lot more detail in a moment. And as Tony mentioned a moment ago, that classroom management tool, this is just allowing us to group together our individual registrants depending on who's enrolled in the programs. And again, we think back to the numbers of people that we have enrolled in our camp weeks and in our childcare programs. It's really, really powerful for me to manage that manage that scale of what we're delivering. But what I really want to focus in on for today is actually one of our scanning capabilities. And what we can do here is, again, at the YMCA in Philly, we're running childcare with over 100 different locations. And in doing so, we have a lot of requirements around actually checking in and checking people out. And instead of needing to come up with a full piece of hardware for capturing those different registrations and otherwise, what I can do is I can just use my mobile app here to scan individuals in and out. So again, just allowing me to really build up those different partnerships with different schools that I might have in my area there. So really, really powerful piece of what I can do with the platform here. Again, the Salesforce mobile app, that's just a free app that can be downloaded from any app store, either Google Play or from Apple themselves. So just a couple of tools that we can be using on the platform for managing that delivery of our services.